Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great edition of Racers News Network Live. Got a couple of guests with us. One of them is running a little bit behind, but that's okay. We can always cut off the conversation with our second guest and speak with our winner from this past weekend at Lebanon Valley Dragway in Super Street. Of course, I'm talking about Taylor Nobile, and by the look on Pete's face, he's messaging her right now.
Now, I got a couple people asking why we're not live yet.
All right. But yeah, so we're gonna kick it off with our buddy Jason Lawrence. He dabbles in Super Street and big money racing and is probably about three-quarters of the way through the rebuild of the Mighty Duster. So Pete, go ahead and take it away.
J-Law, what's happening, buddy?
What's going on, Pete?
How are you?
Hanging in there.
We have to pretend like we don't normally talk, like everything's got to be a surprise. How you been?
Again,
What?
just day by day, right?
Yep. How first and foremost, wife and kids, how are they?
Awesome. They're doing
Good.
awesome.
Good deal. Little guy's getting big, right?
Very. Both of them.
Time goes by quick.
Yeah.
So, the main question is Duster status. We're all seeing it progress. This is like, some people go on vacation and they take pictures of their vacation. Some people build cars and take pictures of that. I got to tell you, car pictures are a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
At least they are to me. How's it coming?
It's coming along great. We're getting close. The chassis side of the wiring is about complete. Which brings us into putting the motor together. You're looking at a day or two. It's the same combination. Yep. So it's basically getting gaskets and a few other things. Ron Ross will come down. He'll put the thing together for us. He's always done that.
Yep.
Put the motor in, but it'll come in a weekend or two and have the engine side of the wiring done. And hopefully end of July, beginning of August, we're making noise. And our first trip will be right to the dyno.
Okay, yeah. So you're not even going to go to the track; you go right to the dyno.
Yeah, we'll go to Nickerson's dyno, and he can smooth out and iron out all the. Obviously, we're going EFI again, so he can smooth out and tune out the EFI to make it so it'll go down track.
Yep.
And take care of that part of it first. Then we'll go to a track rental or a test and tune, and we'll start working on the chassis side, the suspension setup, all that.
So you're not going to be an idiot like me and try and race the car for a year before you actually go on the chassis dyno and figure it out?
I know a lot of people do. It doesn't matter if it's EFI or carburetors. They fight, and then they go to the dyno. Like, I should have done that sooner. Yeah.
It's weird because when I first got the EFI on the car, I instantly tried to put it on the throttle stop, and the car was awful. It was so inconsistent. It was ridiculous. And then I said, well, I got to make the car run good wide open before I could put it back on the stop. Towards the end of the year, I got the thing running what I thought was decent. So then I said, I ran out of time. So go back this year and tried to put it on the stop, and it was just god awful. And I finally called up a buddy of mine and said, dude, we're avoiding the inevitable. We just got to put it on the dyno and get it all cleaned up. And it made such a difference that I noticed it in the burnout box. It took so much less effort to do a burnout. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think I was struggling before, but now that I've got it running good, it's the difference is incredible. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm not telling you anything new because you've gone through this already and you probably did it the right way, unlike me. But you live and learn.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, you're building the car basically from scratch, right? You had the whole chassis done. Tin work. Do I remember new quarter panels?
Yeah, I mean, to just a quick backtrack. So the deal with the rebuild is the fire might not have damaged it to the point where the chassis might not have been reusable.
Sure.
But when you took all the tin work away and you got a bare chassis sitting there with a body, and you put jack stands under it, and there's a gap under one of the jack stands, you start to go, hmm. And then the fact that we replaced three of the bars in the car. Once we put the bigger motor in, we actually replaced three bars in the car that cracked and were falling out,
Oh, wow.
and rewelded a few spots. So it's hard to say this, but the fire might have been the blessing in a way
Sure.
of
Sure, I get it.
what was truly coming down the pike, and that could
Right.
have been the car splitting in half on me,
Right.
or something worse.
Yep.
So as much as this sucks, and this is horrible to have to rebuild the car, probably the lesser of the evils. But yeah,
Well,
we
obviously, the biggest blessing is that with the fire, nobody got hurt.
right.
And then because of the fire, nobody got hurt. So
Right.
that's yeah, I mean, if you're the kind of person that looks at the glasses half full, that's about the best way to look at it.
Yeah. So,
No
but
doubt.
it's a brand new car in the end. The original pieces are the cow panel on the front,
Yep.
the the front pillar
The eight
that goes up
pillars.
to the
Yep.
roof, your door jambs, and your rocker panels. That's
And
it.
that's it.
That's it. Everything
Wow.
else is brand new.
All right. So I got to ask you, in basically building a car from scratch, I mean, the only thing you didn't do is go out and buy a fiberglass body, which probably would have been easier than what you did. What is the one or more than one things that was a lot harder or took a lot longer than you anticipated?
I mean, we would want to say maybe the chassis, but part of that is the design of the chassis.
Yeah,
It's truly one off. Brought the car to Ken Kier. Ron Johnson was lead fabricator on it. So we worked very hand in hand with him basically. And there is just that is not a typical build. And there was a lot of stuff where we would come in and be like, that's cool, but
yeah, right, right.
hey, I like that, but
But yeah,
but I mean, he did a fantastic job in doing what we wanted. Um, I
and
mean,
that's pretty cool in the big scheme of things. Ken Kier is obviously a well-known chassis builder and fabricator,
mhm,
and it would probably be very easy for someone of his reputation and ability to say, dude, I'm building maybe a 7 second car. It's probably going to be a throttle stop car, right? It might never see 7 seconds. I know what I'm doing. How about you brought the chassis to me? Let me build it. Go away. And instead of doing that, he listened. And in the big picture, he might have learned some stuff to do in the future because he had so much input from you guys.
yeah,
So that's pretty cool that the door was open like that.
yeah, I mean, all the way down to the struts. We hand him the struts. He's like, these are for like a third gen Camaro Firebird super stock car.
Right.
Cool. Here you go.
Yeah.
It was stuff like that. I mean, even
Right.
in the back, most seven faster than 750 cert cars, they have the X. So you do the bars coming down, and you put the X, and then the funny
Sure.
car cage. He's like, the X in the back. Nah, don't want it. I want this thing to look like a super stock Hemi Walkowitz's car. I need
Yep.
the vision. This car is a truly purpose built bracket car. Everything we designed it to do, everything from vision, the whole shooting match is all premised around bracket racing and being trying to make it like the ultimate bracket car
Sure.
where we can be low eight or yeah, low 8 second, low 5 second, eighth mile. I have
Yep.
too much eighth mile racing going on in my head right now because
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Right.
So a low 5 second, eighth mile car and get down any track. If we want to go to Piedmont in November and be racing at 8, 9 o'clock at night, and the dude's on
Mhm.
the track. My car is going to go down like it was an 11-second big tire car. It's just, like it is. It's not going to spin. It's not going to do any of that. That is the whole premise of it. Everything we see, where we see other people struggle, we've struggled ourselves. We're trying to eliminate that. But
And that's the beauty of the background of the people you surround yourself with, right? I mean,
yes,
who has seen more cars race and compete combined than Lee, Bud, you, and your dad?
right.
I mean, that's a lot of knowledge right there. And if you four are going to put your heads together and build a car for a category that you guys all have a ton of experience with, that should turn out to be a pretty decent piece with all the knowledge going in it.
Yeah, and I mean, again, Bud was the kind of lead designer. He's the one who came up with the design of the chassis,
Yeah,
and this has been a vision of his for a long time. Again, kind of that ultimate bracket car. And
sure.
this car is going to be nice because it's not a one trick pony. We're not going out there and just dot 90. We are
Right.
going to be able to dot 90. Um, Top Sportsman is more like Rob, the Mid Atlantic deal, the
Yeah.
eighth mile top streetcar shootout. Those guys running at eighth mile. I am never going to qualify in the quarter mile in Top Sportsman. No
Right.
way.
Right.
But I can
Yeah.
run the Top Sportsman with those guys. Foot brake it. I'm just going to be able to be foot brake, top ball, no box. It's got the long throw button. You name it, I can do. I can show up to a track and go, "Hey, what do you got racing this weekend? We have this, and this." Well, I'll join both these classes
Right.
and then go race. But
Excellent.
real quick before, because I see she's
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
on,
No worries.
real quick to answer your question, the hardest part is the whole thing because
Yes.
it's a one-off car and we're starting from scratch. So the whole shooting match been more difficult than I think we imagined.
Right.
And
Right.
congratulations on your win, by the way.
Thank
So
you.
I'll step off to the side so you guys can do that, and then I'll get back to you.
You're the man. Thank you, Jason.
No problem.
Thank you, Jay.
I
Good
am
evening, young
so
lady.
sorry. I am
That's all
so
right.
sorry. So I set an alarm. I had my in-laws over for dinner and I set an alarm for 6:50 and then I just saw your message and it was 6:50 a.m. So that would really help me.
All right. Well, you'd either be really early or really late,
Yeah,
one or the other.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What's up, killer?
Nothing much. Just finished dinner actually and cleaning up dinner. How are you
Excellent.
guys?
We're good.
Excellent.
We're good. I'm still exhausted from the weekend, but I'm a lot older than you, so you'll get
I
that
know.
way sooner or later.
No, I'm that way. I'm like weird with the heat now. I'm a baby. I just like sweat and I'm like, this must be what getting older feels like. I told
Man,
Sean, I said, Sean, my shirt has never been this sweaty in my life. He's like, welcome to being an adult.
yeah, tell you, sweating places you never knew you had.
Yeah, exactly.
I went after Laura beat me. I went over to her trailer and we actually have history because when I bracket raced up at Lebanon Valley, believe it or not, I remember her. If you see her father driving her daughter around on the quad,
Yeah. Yeah, I saw
I
that.
remember when her father was driving her around on the quad like that. That's how long I've known her. And I went over to congratulate her for beating me. And I walked up to her and said, I want to give you a hug, but I am soaked and disgusting. So I'm just going to give you a high five and I'll hug you the
Yeah.
next time I see you. She's like, all right, that's a deal. But boy,
Yeah.
Sunday was brutal. That was pretty rough.
Yeah, it was weird because so Vincent had actually surprised me on Sunday morning.
We
He
saw
came
that.
at like 7:20. My dad was like, "Uncle Sean's here. Is everybody dressed and ready to go?" And I was like, "Yeah," but Sean said he wasn't getting here till 8. So like, why is he here already? And then in comes Vincent. But that was a side note. But we
Yeah.
got outside and I said, "Vincent, I swear to you, it was not this hot this weekend. Like it was actually nice out on
Saturday
Friday
was
and
absolutely
Saturday.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you weren't hot. You
Nope.
were it was hot, but it wasn't like sweaty. It was like
Right.
perfect.
I felt like
It
the car
wasn't
was
like
running
last year.
underwater on Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
know.
wasn't like Saturday wasn't like last year where it was like third level of hell hot.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
remember I didn't did I go? Yeah, I went there, but it was terrible last year. It was so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, this week was nice.
I think Sunday, I'm not going to say it's the hottest I've ever raced in. Definitely the hottest I've ever gone rounds in. And I got to tell you, when I pulled up to the trailer after I lost and I saw all the stuff I had to put away, I'm like, whew, I wonder if someone will come along and just give me $100 for this whole operation. I could Uber home.
Yeah, it was.
It was rough.
So in Norwalk, 2 weeks before or a week before, I forget how long ago it was at this point, I was in fifth round, I guess. That's when I lost, I think was fifth round. And when I lost, I was like, not that I ever want to lose, and I didn't want to lose, but it was a little refreshing to know that I didn't have to get strapped in the car again. Cause
Right.
it was, I think it was a feel like temperature of 106.
No.
And I was like physically drained. I was like, I don't know how these people are just doing this. Like, I'm younger for most of the people in Super Street,
Right.
and there
Right.
were like older guys, and I'm like, go them, because I feel like I'm gonna pass out, and they're just kept
Yeah.
on going.
And how about, granted, we have to get all suited up and everything, but how about the people that are working and out in the sun
Yeah.
all day long?
Yeah,
Or
like
like the
Jared.
safety safari, they're all
Yeah.
dressed up all day long.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell they do it.
Yeah, I always say Jared never even has like a tent over his head most of the time. He's just
Right?
out there in the sun all day long and standing, like not like they're sitting relaxing.
I don't remember the number, but it was ridiculous. He messaged me when I was on my way home, and he said he he shot the top of his sneaker with a temp gun. And I think he said it was like 123 degrees on the top of his sneaker. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's got to be brutal.
Yeah, they're awesome because they don't make a ton of money, and they're doing it for the love of the sport, and
Without a doubt.
without them we're no one. We're not going to the racetrack. So
Yeah, yeah, that is so true. So we know that you're on a little bit of a timeline. You got a little one to tend to.
I'm not
But
I'm good now. I got grandparents downstairs.
oh,
They're
perfect.
they're
Good.
entertaining.
Good deal. Take us through your race. How did time trials go? How did first round go? And when did you start to think that you were on a roll here?
So, before we even got to Lebanon Valley, I wasn't even going to attend the race. Vincent couldn't take off 3 weeks in a row. So I was like, all right, we'll just skip it. I'll let my dad double enter for the first time ever and let him take the truck and the dragster. Because Tori now lives in Midland, Texas. So we don't have her all the time anymore.
Gotcha.
So it was going to be his race to race. And then we were sitting in line at Cedar Point, going into the national event in Norwalk. And
Yep.
Sean goes, hey, babe, you're leading the division. Do you know that? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, I think you should go to Lebanon Valley. He's like, you don't want to risk the end of the year getting canceled. He's like, let's just put up your score and be done. And if anybody beats you, they beat you. So let's
Yeah,
just
if
go
they
and get
chase
it.
you down, they chase
Yeah.
you down. Sure.
Yeah. Obviously, we're only like 2 races in, so the division isn't even close to being a thought. But he's
Right.
like, let's just get your score in now and not wait till Cecil County at the end. He's like, what if they get canceled? What if the weather doesn't hold off? Let's just go. So that was our first thing. So then Tony, my dad, only got to race one car. So I already took his car back again. The poor guy's the only man who has 2 race cars and never gets to drive them.
Race any, right?
Yeah. So time shots were good. First round I had I forget, I don't know his first name. Something Harper. John Harper.
John Harper in
Yeah.
the red and black 55. Yeah.
Yeah, I had John Harper. I think I was teen on the tree, and I went a 90.
You did, because
Oh yeah,
I was parked right
yeah.
behind you because I was trying to avoid you like the friggin' plague.
Yeah. He and I almost had a round one date. We
I
were
said
one.
the only way I'm going to avoid her is if I attach onto her back bumper in the lanes. We'll be good.
Yeah.
And
So
he actually came up to me and he said, I have Taylor. Do you know how fast she is? And I'll be honest with you, because I've raced 3 events in the last 15 years, I don't remember. And I told him, I said, I think she's low 140s, but I'm not 100% sure. He's like, okay. And then
So
I was actually in the burnout box when you went, obviously, because I was right behind you. And I saw your wind light came on and I gave it a fist bump. I'm like, all right, good job.
Yeah, so I'm like 133 to 135, depending on the racetrack. This weekend I was around 133.
So I was clearly wrong.
Yeah, it's okay. You were close enough.
It's all good.
So that round was a good start. That made me feel confident. Sean is my dialer, so he's awesome, and we were kind of on a roll, the two of us, with him dialing, me getting him something on the other end every time, and whatnot. And then when it came to the semis, was when I started to choke and my lights started to suffer. I don't know what it is with me. I used to be really bad first round and get better as the races went on. And
Right.
ever since having Riley, I start to choke as the rounds go on, the opposite of how I used to be.
On
So
brand.
yeah. So Sean told me in the semis, he's like, "Hey babe, so like, if you're late, you got to get behind. Like you got to start getting behind by how much you are bad on the tree." I said, "What? Do you already think I'm going to be bad on the tree?" He's like, "No, no, no, I'm just saying this is what we got to start doing." So
Right.
I came back and I was late and he goes, "See, I just had to tell you, like if you were late." And I said, "Yeah." So that round I was late in the semis. I was 40, but I went dead on again.
Yep.
And then in the final, I let go and said, "All right, this race is over. I might as well park this thing right in the middle of the racetrack because I was not good at
It's the
all."
worst feeling in the world, isn't it?
Yeah. So I get down there and I'm like, I'm just gonna hit a spot and get rid of what I
That's all.
thought I was on the tree and
Give her a
pray for
push
the
and hope. Yeah.
pray for the best there. And I told everyone. So I have in-car videos that just I watch with Sean to kind of we learn each round. So
Sure.
in the video, you hear me say a not nice word to myself. I said something along the lines of, "Why were you late?" And
Yeah.
then I get down and I drop, and you can see my eyes go right to her win light because I'm like, this girl's win light's gotta come on right now. And
Right.
it didn't. So I moved my eyes back to mine and I'm like, holy moly, I won. And it was an awesome feeling. I haven't won since having Riley or got married. So I had tears in my eyes for a little bit turning the corner and then I
So
got
it's
back.
actually I didn't know that you hadn't won since you got married, but
Yeah.
I didn't know if you had won since you had Riley or not. So that was actually my next question.
Yeah, no. So I had runnered up not last year because the truck was not
Yeah,
functioning.
you struggled last year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I runnered up the year before that at Maple Grove, and then this year Maple Grove I also runnered up. So I've had
Yeah.
two runner ups since Riley, but never a win.
Never a win. So there you go.
Alan Reinhardt made a point um in the final round for you, Taylor, that the curse of Vincent has been lifted.
Yeah.
Yep. We both have a curse actually. I think it's both of us. So we have a thing I can actually flip it around in his office. Here, let me show you. In his office, this is our national event winner wall. So we have a deal that whoever wins a national event gets to go on that wall. And it hasn't changed since before we've gotten married. So I said, "Vincent, something's going on here. We both can't change this wall from me in 2021." So
That's funny.
yeah.
Good deal. So, yeah, I mean, we all saw the final round. We saw the light, but it's the same old stuff. Whenever you win a race, right? They always ask you what your lucky round was.
That was it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if it's the first round, last round, or anyone in between, what's the difference, right? You got to have
Yep.
one. So,
Yeah, and like Sean says to us all the time, he's like, "There's two ends of the racetrack. You can be great on the tree every single round, and that does not mean you're going to turn on a win light. So you got to
yeah,
win on both ends, or at least win on one and get lucky on the other." So that was
right,
my luck
right.
round.
Yeah, I always tell people, they ask about racing, what does it take to win? I say you got to have three things. You got to be good on the starting line. You got to be good at the finish line, and the car has to be good. And the chances of all three of those things coming together for a whole race are not that great. It really isn't.
No, I've never seen some. I mean, maybe. Granted, I don't watch every single person, but you always have to have a lucky round. Like Vincent in Norwalk, he was 8 total to Gary Pritchett's like 3 total, and he lost.
Could you
Like
imagine?
So you're 6 total and you're going home. Like he said,
Right.
I have no luck on my side. Like, when are you going to go up there being 6 total and lose?
Right.
Really never. But
Right.
that
No,
time,
you sign up for 6 total. You sign up for
yeah,
that every single round,
yeah.
every day,
Sign
and
me up
you
for the
let
next.
fate, let fate
Yeah,
fall where it goes. Yeah, without a
exactly.
doubt.
So
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you.
thanks.
Congratulations to your first place standings. I know you were in a tie with Neil Vaccaro coming into that event. He went out first
Yes.
round, and no one went by him. So essentially, you have a full race on second place. So,
Yep. I'm just tuning out the points as of now because I don't want to look at them anymore. And I'm just
at
going to
the end of
let.
the day, it's not going to dictate how you do. So you're just going to go out there and try and win every round you can, and like the people were telling you, at the end of the year, however it lands, it lands.
Yeah, like the year we were literally just talking about this. Sean always said like um if you win 2 divisionals, you pretty much lock up the division. That's like his
Right.
theory on things. He did
Yep.
last year. And the year I did that, Brian Sawyer had the highest score of every single division in every single class and I lost.
Could
So
you
I,
imagine?
I that was 2 wins. I had like 375 points and he had 400 and something. So like I just learned from that you just let
Yep.
the points fall where they fall. You drive your hardest, and at the end of the day, whoever's luck, God, fate, whoever
Yep.
you want to say is on
Yep.
your side, that's who's gonna win. So
The end of
I'm just,
October, you log in and you see where you stood.
yep, I'm just gonna have fun and enjoy being out there with my family till
Good for you.
October comes.
So your sister just said, Pete, she looked at them this morning. Don't let her lie to you.
I only looked at them this morning because Mike I had 2 people that sent them to me and I texted them and Jackie said get off the internet and I
That's
haven't looked
great.
since. Thank
Called
you.
you right out on that.
Thank
That's
you so much,
fantastic.
Tori.
Hey, I went to one race, and you bet your ass I logged in this morning to see where I was. So whatever.
I got them sent to me and then I sent them out. I did not go on division1.com to look at the points. I should rephrase that. I got them sent to me.
That's hysterical.
So,
So you're coming off of like a 18-month straight racing adventure.
yeah.
You've been on the road for like almost a month, right?
Yeah, we went to what was before? We went to Bristol, then we went to what was after Bristol? I think it was
You went,
Norwalk. Bristol, Norwalk,
Yeah.
you were
Lebanon
at New
Valley.
England. You were at New England.
I was at New England. Yeah.
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 Yeah. We have some time off now. My next race isn't until New Media, and then we're going to go to Brainerd. I'm really excited. I'm going to get to run Super Street there because
Oh,
they
very
have
cool.
Mountain Motor Pro Stock. So
Oh, there you
Vincent's
go.
going to take my car. So I'm really excited for that race because I've never been there.
Excellent.
Oh,
So you have a little bit of a mini vacation between now and the media. Very nice.
Yep. I still just want to go back to the track now. I'm over the break. It's
Yeah,
been 2
right.
days. I'm
2 days
refreshed.
were good.
I'm ready to go back.
I know. I was packing everything up on Sunday night, and I'm like, I'm so tired. But they have a super street race here on Saturday. Let's start checking the
Yeah.
weather, see how it is. Yeah.
Jason, are you coming anytime soon to a divisional?
No, not this year. I
I
will
didn't know.
be. Yeah, no, I'll be there. I'll be running it next year. Um, kind of not to go too far, but uh, our plans are to try to do the shot at the world in super gas. So
Nice.
obviously, I need 8 divisionals so I can sign up first.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
you'll see me a lot next year.
Cool.
So super gas, you're not going to do super street.
This car is 400 pounds lighter than it used to be.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm not. The car is.
Yeah, I know that. Amen.
Yeah, but no,
Well, we
the car's lighter, so there's no way super street's out of the question again unless I go run with Rob's with
we
Rob's.
miss
Yeah,
we miss you out there. We miss all of our like I feel like we lost all of our like hardcore group, like Casey Grubb, you all kind of left at the same time. I miss all you guys.
I
yeah. No,
got to be honest with you, Taylor. I don't miss Jason at all.
Cool.
Well, I don't miss the competition that he brought, but I liked having him around at the racetrack.
Yeah, no, I went with when Jay won the other year and the championship. I went with him to the banquet and stuff, and hang out with them and George and Tony Barrett and all those guys. Ron Ross. It's like, oh man. And I went to the one race. I ran your father actually. It was second or third round at Cecil. And same thing, just hanging out with the guys from the Dot 90 crew. I'm like, man, it's like it's been too long since I've been here. So
Yeah.
I do miss it. I'm excited to come back to it.
Good. Well,
I
I'm excited
do-
that you'll be back.
I don't miss the traveling, but I definitely miss the people. And I really enjoy going to Lebanon Valley on the weekend and racing the Super Street Series and hanging out with all the people that I hung out with 20 years ago. But when the division rolls around and I get to see all the usual people, you definitely miss it.
Well, I'm going to make it funny for you. I'm traveling farther running the bracket racing than I have when I was a divisional. I run the division series. It's like going to home tracks.
Right.
I'm heading out. I'm in Vegas, St. Louis. I'm going down to Florida. We'll probably go down Florida again this year for the Mini Million. I'm
Yep.
traveling farther than I did with the division.
God
Division will be
bless
like a break.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's like this new mountain motor program that Vincent has. We're traveling so much. I'm like, having a child and driving this much is hard. Like, she does not want to be, every race we're going to is 13 plus hours away. And
Yeah.
like, I'm entertaining a 2.5-year-old in a box for 13 hours. And I've been going crazy at some of these. Thankfully, she just got into an iPad, so I can like
Oh,
give
there
her
you
the
go.
iPad and say, watch some shows, please, because I can't
Yeah, you're
entertain
right.
you for 13 hours.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
right.
we do.
Yeah, I
So-
thankfully I am about 15 years removed from that, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So Taylor, I was telling Pete before we came on, I came up with this great idea today. You need to go the best 2 out of 3 against the killer. Do you know who the killer is?
Not
Keith?
me.
Huh? Pete. I propose a best 2 out of 3 match race, you and Mares.
We've raced 3 times so far
Okay.
in our career,
Okay.
but
And
I'm up to I've beat him twice, he's beat me once.
all right,
there
so
you-
you have to,
there's
all
your
right, there's the
race.
2 out of 3 right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
He the year I was going for the division with Brian Sawyer and Keith, he'll tell you this, so this isn't me talking, just like whatever. He chased me to the lanes first round. I was the first pair. He flew up next to me because we were tied for points, so he wanted to that would have been the tiebreaker, which I respected completely because why not control your own destiny?
Sure.
Right.
And it was an oil down in stock. We sat for 35 minutes. To put it in, I was pooping my pants the whole time. I have 30 minutes now to think about running Keith next to me for basically the division, possibly whatever, second. And I did win, thank goodness to my lovely dialer, Sean, who made me go at 90 that time. But that was our like best matchup. That was my best time ever beating Keith because it was like I felt like I had pressure and it was really cool. But Keith is an awesome racer, and obviously this is his second win in Super Gas, and there's just no stopping him when he's on a roll.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah,
He's like friggin' Superman.
yeah, he's
And
crazy.
the other thing is, since we didn't get to work on that project this past weekend,
Yeah.
August at New England.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I didn't see you on Sunday. I tried to find
No,
you.
well, no, we left. We went back to the hotel Saturday and surrendered on Sunday. So no
Okay.
worries.
Yeah, perfect.
I don't
Well,
want to.
thank you
I hate
guys
to
for.
bother. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying thanks for having me. I'm sorry I was late. That's not
That's
like me.
okay.
I'm an early person and feel terrible.
It's called
That's okay.
fashionably late, Taylor. Don't worry.
Yeah. So I'm sorry.
We
Excellent.
bug you enough to come on that we can let one slide.
That's right.
You
That's right.
never bug me. I love coming on the show. I just can't believe I forgot. I have things, it's written in my calendar. It was an alarm set and I still forgot. So
Depends.
Have a good night, everyone.
You too. Tell the family we said
All
hi.
right, Taylor, take
Yep.
care.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Taylor Nobile, your Super Street winner from this past weekend at Lebanon Valley,
The Valley of Speed.
the Valley of Speed. So let me do this. I want to figure out how to. We know you've got some real nice paintwork on that duster.
I tried.
Tried. So I was contacted today by somebody, and please, you're gonna have to bear with me for a minute. That's doing some work on your car and asked me to debut some of these pictures.
Look at
I'm gonna
you.
move out of the way so you can completely see it.
That is exactly what I was looking for. This I tell them all the time. That's exactly why I went to them. I can do paint. I can do the flames, the stripes. I can do all that stuff.
Yep.
It comes to airbrush work. There is not a shot in hell, and that's exactly why I went to him. This is exactly what I was looking for.
That
He
looks,
is
I
awesome.
mean, you can even see like the grain and the texture. That's
Yep.
That's
He
the
asked.
first thing that I saw when Jerron sent me those pictures. I was like, that is just absolutely killer seeing that wood grain in there.
And he
so
asked me, he's like, "What do you want? Like, how do you want it done?" I said, "I want this to look factory. I want this to look like a stock 1972 dash."
so I'm gonna tell you a funny Duran story, and hopefully he doesn't get mad at me for telling it, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. He was doing a pickup truck for, I don't know if it was Comp Eliminator or what the hell it was, but it was like a bazillion-dollar truck. And he gets so wrapped up in the wanting it to look exactly like stock that in a stock truck it was either the glove box lid or the ashtray that when you slid it in it wasn't perfectly straight because it was just the truck was built. It was like a 1940s truck, right? And they didn't exactly roll the BB around to make sure that every gap was the
I,
same,
I,
right? So
we used to joke where I worked. I always said it was a bunch of drunk union workers that were putting these things
exactly,
together. So,
exactly. So he when he replicated it on the dash, he did it a little bit crooked so that it would look like stock, and the owner called him out on it. He's like, "Oh, well, why didn't you make the ashtray straight?" And he's like, "Well, because it's not in a truck." And that's how attention to detail he is. It's ridiculous. I mean, if you look at the grill on my car, he painted the headlight bezels in that go around the headlight, and you could even see he made it look like the Phillips screws that are holding it in.
yeah,
It's I can't tell you how many people have walked up to my car and thought they were real headlights. It's ridiculous.
I got to see Dalton Rolls' car this past weekend. That's that Nova he just got done doing.
Yep.
Beautiful car. I got to see it in the stage lanes, and then I got to see it in my rearview mirror as it passed me and got by me by 3 thousandths for me to lose.
Yeah.
And that hurt. But that whole grill area and how he did where the radiator support is and
Yep.
radiator supports in those cars were painted the same as body color, so it has all the stripes. I mean, that's a lot of work because you did the stripes
Oh
on the
yeah.
car, then you had to do the grill over it, and then of course the radiator that he did with all the the little marks for the
Yep.
individual cores and everything.
Right.
He's a very talented guy, and again, this is why I kept telling him. I said, "This is why you have the dash. This
Right.
is why I have you doing it because I know it's going to come out what I have in my head of what I
Right.
want it to look like." So nah, that is fantastic.
He's a bad dude.
Yes.
I just hope that he didn't spray it on my kitchen table down in Florida. That's all I'm hoping for.
If he did, you'll have wood grain, so you're welcome.
That's all good. Yeah, I think my wife likes the wood grain table, so we're good.
Yeah, so it just blends in.
Look at that other picture. Chris, say something so it comes up big.
Hello.
There
Yes,
you go.
let me get out of the way.
I mean, if that doesn't look like a stock dash,
No.
that's
Yeah, like I
outrageous.
said, when he sent those to me earlier today, I was looking at them. I'm like, obviously the gauges look totally cool, but
Yep.
the wood grain just grabbed right a hold of me. I was like, holy crap, that's just
I do
freaking
have one
beautiful.
complaint though. Looks like you're in a little bit of a discharge there. You might need to do something with your alternator.
That's a bud problem.
Yeah,
Hmm.
That's a bud problem.
that's right.
I'm just driver.
Hey, listen, if Bud could wire that thing up and make that needle move, I'll be really impressed.
Now I'm impressed.
Good stuff. Well, Jason, listen, we look forward to seeing more progress. But what we look forward to more than anything is actually racing with you again at the track. So best of luck getting that thing together, and please keep us posted of what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's been a long road. A lot of people have been involved with it. A lot of great people been helping us out. I got a long list of people that I have to thank in the end. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finally running the car, and our first real debut race will be the original million. So that's what we're looking to go to. That'll be the first actual race with the car.
Good
So
deal.
what's your schedule look like for the rest of the year?
So original million, followed by the FRBR race, the Door Wars race at Maple Grove for foot brake, and then followed by Florida for the mini million. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. Between the original million and now is just going to be more, like I said, dyno, uh, some track rental, testing tunes, might maybe if I can sneak in like a local bracket race just to run the car. Other than that, that's what we're shooting for is the original million. If the car is not done this year for some unforeseen reason or something was to happen where everything got pushed back, then next year it's the divisional races. Mutt and Jeff, I'm gonna go to the WFC to foot brake the car there for their 20th anniversary. Again, this car is going to fit in everything. I even plan to run it in Super Comp. I run big
Oh,
money
very cool.
bracket
Nice.
races. I run a 640 Camaro and I run dragsters all the time. I really don't care about running a dragster. 890s, 890. They're going to come on me.
Yep.
It's whatever. I'll make it work. So,
Awesome.
Very cool.
Good deal. Thanks again, buddy. And do me a favor. Please tell your dad that I was asking for him.
absolutely.
I miss seeing him at the track, probably a little more than I miss seeing you, if I'm being honest.
I could see that. Yeah. No, I totally get that. Just gotta look down for him sometimes. He's kind of
That's right.
screwed
Yeah, that's right.
up.
Good stuff. Keep us posted and we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, sounds good.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you, Jay.
Yep, see.
All right, very cool.
Boy, that dashboard looks incredible, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Yeah. I like I said, again, obviously the gauges look so entirely cool. The gauges and the buttons and
So
the
the
switches.
thing that I love is how some things look faded and some things are like crystal clear sharp. Like I'm looking at the numbers right by your head on the temperature gauge,
Yeah.
and they're like so sharp. But then the bezels are a little faded and the wood and the knob. You know what I'm saying? I love the
Right. And
contrast of the two.
then you got the reflection, the sun or whatever bouncing
Right,
off
right.
that.
But I
And
mean, even like on a real car, right? You have a gauge. The gauge
right,
is always going to look sharp, but the wood grain will fade, and it just won't be as crisp. And I mean, that's exactly what it looks like. It's ridiculous.
right. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. All right.
Good stuff.
So
So, how was your first trip back to the track there, Mr. Healthy?
it was good. I started to run out of steam around 3, 4 o'clock.
Actually, I'm wrong. You went to the national event,
I
didn't you?
went to the national event
Okay,
and
so this is your first trip
that
back to the valley.
back to the valley, yeah.
Gotcha.
So between getting up at dark 30 Saturday morning and then the 3.5 hour drive,
Right.
about 3 o'clock I started to fade. but I powered through because I wanted to make it to the very least the end of the day,
Right.
and then go back to the hotel. And it was really 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 cool to see the usual crowd that
Yeah.
I hang out with.
I'll tell you, I had a lot of people come up to me on Sunday and tell me how good it was to see you at the track again. You know,
Oh, cool.
we go through what we do here and we don't think anything of it, right? Because we're just doing our thing and having fun and our little ego trip that we have, whatever it is, right? But
Yeah.
people pay attention. And they like tuning in and they pay attention when someone's not feeling good or needs some help and they're paying attention when you're back and you're healthy. So
Yep.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that people actually, show that they care,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Since especially since everything happened back in December, I that's like the biggest thing that I've taken along with me is that I I have a lot of friends. Granted, 99% of them don't live in my immediate area.
Sure. Yep.
Um, but everybody really put an effort into making me feel good,
Yeah.
and it was just a cool experience. Like I said, a lot of guys from up in Canada. I always joke, that's always been the joke that, we're really popular with the Canadians,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we are, but we're popular and with everybody, and it's fun. It's a great experience, and
It's,
couldn't
it's
ask for a
cool.
cooler group of
It's
people.
cool to be doing something fun and something that you enjoy and knowing that other people enjoy it too.
Right.
And that's just out of dumb luck, right? Because we're not doing it for other people. We're doing it because we're having fun. And it just so happens that other people are entertained by our stupidity also.
Right. It's like when you had people come up to you and go, "Do you guys hate each other or something?"
Yeah. Why do you think this works?
Yeah. It's
Of course we do.
I had a couple people ask me, how well do you guys get along? I said, we get along great. I said, we're like a couple of dysfunctional brothers.
Exactly.
We freaking hate each other, but we love each other all at the same time.
It's all good.
Yeah. But yeah, so your weekend, man, you were on it.
I was yeah. I don't I was talking to somebody today. I can't remember. And that's again, we talk about the people that pay attention and the people that reach out. I mean, I lost in the fifth round, which for me is phenomenal because I don't race that much. And it's basically the first time out, EFI with the throttle stop and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, the amount of people that reached out to say, hey, congratulations, you did good this weekend. It's like you really, I'll never take for granted people that pay attention and reach out. It's incredible to me because it's like you wouldn't think that you'd be on the radar,
Right.
and someone messaged me today and I forgot who it was that I had this specific conversation with, but I said that I had never in my life had a string of reaction times like that ever. Especially across such a long period of time because I started on Thursday at the testing tube.
Yeah.
And I went up there last weekend and I made two passes, but I can't even count those as reaction times because one of the times the car stalled. And then another time, people are going to laugh at me about this, but I let go of the button and I still had my last race from last year and it was still crossed over in the delay box. So it was like a 400 light because it was still crossed over. So essentially when I went up there on Thursday and I let go of the button the first thing Thursday morning, or Thursday at noon, whenever they started. It was the first time I saw a pro tree in over a year. And it's the first time that I really tried to have a reaction time, and I was 19. And that was the worst light of 13 passes that I made for the weekend.
Really?
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Now, did you
And
get down into the single digits?
3 or 4 times, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I had a 5, a 7, a 9, and another 5.
Very
And
cool.
I was living around 11 to 14. It was just, I mean, I did, I want to say a 5 and a 7. And then I let go and I said, oh man, I think I'm a little late. And I wound up winning the round. And I looked at the slip, it was 14. So, oh, yeah, I was really late, But it was just, I don't know if, I mean, obviously, I'm not some insane reaction time king. So it's just one of those things where, like, you're in the zone and it all comes together. But I honestly believe that a lot of it has to do with the car is running so good that it leaves the starting line exactly the same way every time, that it makes it easier to have the results like that. Now, I don't think for a single second that every time I let go of that button, I'm going to be a teen or an O. But I definitely think the car is there, that if it's not a teen or an O, it's the friggin' driver, 110%. Um, so
Now, are you a creature of habit when you go from the staging lanes to the water box to the starting line? Do you do it the same way? Or do you try to do it the same way every time?
so
Or
I
you just roll up and go, all right,
yeah,
whatever.
no, I mean I will tell you that there was a time, especially racing on a pro tree, that I did not like to stage last, because I felt as though getting in, hitting the button, the car calming down, me flooring it, and then letting go was too much, too quick, and that I would rush it. So there was definitely a time where I preferred staging first. And if I didn't, it would get in my head and screw me up. And once I realized that I was having that issue, I intentionally started staging last, just because I wanted to get comfortable doing it, so that if it happened to me, it wouldn't throw me off. And
Gotcha.
then I did that a couple of times this past weekend and had no issue first or last. It didn't bother me.
Gotcha. Cool.
And I think another big thing too was I did not have a lane preference. And when it came time to race people, they would be like, "What lane do you want?" I'm like, "I'll tell you what, we go up single file front and back. You go in front of me, whatever lane you pick, I'll be in the other one." I
Whatever
had
lane you
enough
don't, I'll take.
runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had enough runs in both lanes between test and tune and time trials that I just didn't care what lane I wound up in. Just didn't matter to me.
Gotcha.
Um, and you know what? Maybe it's because I had the I don't care, I'm doing good attitude, that I did as good as I did. And if I go up there and I really start to try, I'll probably suck again. But either way, it was a great weekend, and I'm going with it.
Very cool. Now, are you gonna go to the Nessa race next weekend? Or are you
I
gonna
That's the game plan. I have a couple of things that I have to switch around on the car. I was getting a couple of erratic data logs because it's picking up some noise somewhere. So I actually want to take my crank trigger and move it to the other side of the engine, away from the alternator, and reroute some wiring and stuff. And if I could get that in the shop and get that done, I got to go through the springs, the valves. I'm probably going to change the oil in it again. If I could get all that done by Friday afternoon, then yeah, I would love to load up and go and
cool,
race on Saturday. So
cool. Now we were gonna do the short contest this on Saturday night.
now we have to have some clarification on this, because people are coming up to me telling me that I'm the automatic winner. But they're saying that I'm the automatic winner because I'm the shortest of the three. And I go, no, 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 no. That's not how this works. The contest was who was the tallest of the three short guys. And I got a lot of rebuttal on that. So we're going to have to make the rules clearer, and we're going to have this thing.
All right, we're gonna have to, yeah, because they just didn't work out with Wayne. Wayne had to step away and take care of
Yeah,
some
yeah,
business,
it
and
was a lot of stuff going on.
Steve was occupied, and um, yeah, I'll talk to the boss and see what she thinks, because she's obviously on the vertically challenged side too, so she can offer her input.
So
So
yeah, but it was a great weekend. It was great seeing you there. It was great seeing all the Lebanon Valley people, all the divisional people. Um, I got to give a shout out to Jackie Frick on the round that I lost. We were in round robin mode, and I got in the car. I got up. We figured out who wanted what lane. I got in line, and I was racing Laura and her. I don't know if it's husband or boyfriend. Was I actually waved to him as he's leaning into her car, and I said, "Could you do me a huge favor and check the air in my tires, because I completely forgot." And I know it went up because wasn't that long of an amount of time that we ran. He goes, "Yeah, I'll do it." And Jackie heard me. I don't know how she heard me, probably because I got a big mouth. But she's like, "Pete, I'm just standing here doing nothing. I'll do it for you." And she reached in the passenger side door, got the air gauge, asked me what I wanted. Boom, boom, boom. So I got to give her a shout out. Thank you for doing that. And incidentally, Jackie from behind, leaning in my car, looks exactly like my stepdaughter Regan, and my wife, who was up over on the wall waiting for me to come around the corner, thought Regan was getting in the car, and Regan wasn't there. So she thought that she came up and surprised me. So she came running over. And it's like, "Oh, that's not Regan." So it was pretty entertaining before that round.
that's funny.
Yeah, we had
Now,
fun.
if you don't mind, before we call it an evening here,
Yep,
I do have all the winners and the special awards as well from this past weekend,
absolutely.
and also have our winner from our guessing game. The total car count was 420. Our winner is Dave. Boy, I hope I pronounce this right.
You won't.
Bergfeld. Bergfeld.
That sounds good.
Um, he was the closest at 419. So again, Brandon Mass and his business Mass Traction is our partner again this year. Stuff is starting to arrive at my house, so hopefully I'll have the rest of it by the end of the week. But yeah, I mean, it was an amazing weekend of racing. The weather was great. D1 crew, Wayne and his team, they absolutely crushed it.
Yep.
So the final results in the NHRA Division One Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series at Lebanon Valley Dragway. Uh, Jackie Frick took home the win, the hometown win in Top Alcohol Dragster, and it was actually Fink Racing Family Day Saturday at Lebanon Valley. So John had the entire third floor and had it catered and had all his employees and their family there. So that was very cool. Top Alcohol Funny Car, Phil Ez, again, hope I pronounced that right. Took home the win in Top Alcohol Funny Car. Super Street, our guest tonight, Taylor Nobile. Super Gas, the killer Keith Mayers took home the win. Comp, in the screaming six-cylinder pro stock looking Chevy Cavalier, Joe Carniscali. Super Stock, Justin Pachillo. Stock, Johnny Gray. Super Comp, TC Smith. Top Dragster and weekly regular at Lebanon Valley Dragway, Jamie Diamond, and one of your fellow teacher friends.
Yep.
Uh, Top Sportsman in Old Blue, Fast Freddie Perkins. And I watched that T-shirt that I bought, and I'm going to take pictures of it and post it, and I'm sure everybody who hasn't seen them yet will get a chuckle out of it.
So when I went in the tower on Sunday for payout, Dan and Kara were both wearing them.
Oh, they were.
Yes, they were.
Ah,
Yes, they were.
oh yeah, that was, I don't know whose idea it was. I think it might have been Carol's. That was that was killer. You guys will all get a chuckle out of it when I post the pictures of it. Junior dragster, not much of a surprise in the 11 to 18 class. Paul Stallba, I think that's win number 14 on the divisional side of things for him.
And interesting thing with Paul Stauber is not only did he race his sister in the final, but he was also competing in stock eliminator that weekend too.
Yeah, and he made it to, I believe it was round 5, his mom said.
Yeah, it definitely was not an early exit, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he was on it, Karen said, and then he got his clock cleaned on the tree by
Yeah, it happens.
whoever it was he ran. So, but that's not bad. I mean, really, he doesn't have a lot of races in a stalker, and this I think is his first or second race in the new Corvette.
Yep.
So, give the kid all the credit in the world.
And the car is beautiful too.
Oh yeah, it's the old Moser
Moser,
axles
yep. No, you got it. Yep.
um Chevy Corvette.
Yeah.
Uh Junior dragster, ages 6 to 10, Paige Donnie, um, took home the win. So again, great weekend of racing. And again, bear with me for just one sec. I want to pull up the special awards. Actually have my stuff together for once, if you can believe that. Let's see again, Lebanon Valley 2025 Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series special awards in the Bounty Hunter program. Each will receive $100 for defeating the 2024 champ. Now, I assumed, actually, you know what? I don't know if that's right. I'm just gonna leave that. Forget that.
Get back to me on that.
Yeah, get back to you on that. In stock, Ronald Moorhead uh, took home the Bounty Hunter program sponsored by Oaks Landscaping. In super stock, Mike Farrell took home the Bounty Hunter win. Bounty Hunter money, again sponsored by Oaks Landscaping. Super Street, David Bergfeld, um, sponsored by Select Performance. Super Comp, TC Smith, sponsored by Duzen, our good friends over at the Duzen LLC. Super Gas rolls over to the media. That's sponsored by BAS Truck and Trailer. Top Dragster, Jamie Diamond, sponsored by Power Technologies.
And he won that in the final round too, if I'm not mistaken.
That I'm not sure of,
Yeah,
but
I think they announced that if the guy he ran won, it would roll over. If not, Jamie would get it. And I think that was the final round.
very cool. So congratulations to hometown Lebanon Valley racer Jamie Diamond. Top Sportsman Dan Hill, sponsored by Ken Moses Racing Transmissions. In Comp, Joe Carnescali, sponsored by Porter Tree. Juniors 6 to 10, sponsored by AAD Construction. They get $50. And juniors 11 and up, Paul Stalba, sponsored by AAD Construction. Again, they get $50. Mussolino Automotive, number one qualifier and top dragster, Scott Lucan. Priest's Automotive Qualifier Award for Top Sportsman, Dan Hill. Number 2, Frank Volpe. And number 13, as a random pick, was Eric Corey in his brand new Chevy S10 extended cab pickup truck. Beautiful truck.
Yeah, I
And
didn't,
they
unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see that thing up close. But as someone who's in the process of building an S10, from where I saw it from, man, that thing looked beautiful.
and they built that themselves.
Yep. Very
Yep.
cool.
Nice job. Reinhardt Performance, number one qualifier. In stock, Matt Bernard. In super stock, Lincoln Moorhead. Each get $100. Blittersdorf Auto Junior Dragster, number one qualifier, $50 each. 6 to 10, Paige Doney. And 11 and up, Dayton Cochiaro, our guest from a few weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Drag Insights Dead on the Dial. I'm assuming that rolls over because there's nobody attached to it. AA Auto Salvage Perfect Pass in Supercomp, James DeTucci. In Super Street, James Schmidbauer.
I believe that's the other gentleman that lost in the 5th round alongside me.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
he and I were 2 of the final 4.
Gotcha. Classic Auto Body, best appearing, Rafi Karaguzian in his Chevy Nova. That is an 2008, I think it is, paint job, and it still looks like it was just done last week.
That's an award that I would love to win because I'm friends with Earl, and he's the one. Earl is Classic Auto Body, and I'd love
Oh,
to have a
okay.
plaque with. Yeah, I'd love to have a plaque with his name on it.
Very cool.
All I gotta do is get a good looking car.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yours is
It's a Vega.
okay.
No matter what you do to it, it's still a Vega.
Yeah, it's got the crooked Phillips head screws on it.
That's
So,
right. That's right. Damn custom painter.
yeah. Let's see. Powder Coat finishes Best Engineered Award goes to Eric Corey and his again brand new, newly built Top Sportsman Chevy S10. GM Parts now winning bonus stock Johnny Gray and super stock Justin Pachillo. And that, everybody, is your special awards from Lebanon Valley. So the next guessing game will be New Media. Um,
So let me ask you a question.
yep,
How do you do the guessing game for the media when it's a double divisional?
looks like we'll be doubling down. That's right, because it used to be an open
Yeah,
and
and
a
we just wouldn't
divisional.
count the open, we would count the
Right.
divisional.
All right. So if it's a double divisional, then we're gonna have 2 winners. So maybe what I'll do then is, oh no, I have to think on that one. As far as, I mean, my assumption would be that most people that run the first one are gonna run the second one.
I agree with that, although I believe the numbers for the second one will go up because it's going to be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. And I believe that there would be more people that could get Saturday, Sunday off than Thursday,
Then
Friday.
Thursday, Friday, right?
But then you might have some breakage or whatever on Thursday, Friday. So that'll take away from Saturday, Sunday. So it's going to be interesting.
Oh no, I'm thinking now that you made me think about it, we're gonna have 2 winners. So I think we should just do 2 contests. Do a Thursday, Friday,
Yep.
do a Saturday, Sunday. Then you specify one or both. If you want to guess both, that's cool.
Or,
Or,
or, or,
or, and if you do, but
or,
wait, there's more.
but wait, there is more. What if you gave a total for both races?
That would be way too easy. But I like it because you know what?
Because then
Way too easy
you're
is
still only dealing with one number. Exactly.
way too easy is right in my wheelhouse.
But if you want to make it interesting, we'll go with one number, total tech cards sold for both divisionals. But if you win, you get a double prize pack, seeing as how it's 2 races.
We can do that.
How's that?
All right. So one guess, 2 races, 1, 2, 3, 4.
As soon as you take off your shoes, I'm leaving.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's do that. 2 races, 1 guess, double the prize pack. Okay, I'm down with that.
Hold on. Let's make this.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Now,
thinking.
now that you got me, you made me get it in my head. You're gonna go change your freaking mind, aren't you?
Let's make it interesting.
You get to drive Pete's car 1 pass at a time trial.
All right. Let's make this interesting.
Oh boy.
You ready for this? If
What are you gonna
someone
ask?
guesses, let's say, I put in an entry. I'm gonna put in 350 and 400.
Okay.
350 race one, 400 race two. Total 750.
Okay.
The total will win the double prize pack.
Okay.
If you get both races on the button, I will send you $250. How's that? Straight Line
You have my
Automotive is going to
address.
sponsor it.
Yeah,
I know it's a
you have
long
my
shot.
Venmo.
I know it's a long shot, but
All right.
$250 just for guessing.
All right. So what I want you to do before you forget, when we get done, get on
By
your
the way,
little
it's after 8
keyboard
o'clock, so
and
anything I
let's
say doesn't count.
yeah, it's what it's 8:16, so Pete's gonna be passed out in about 3 minutes.
That's right.
Get on your keyboard and send that to me because you know I'll forget that part.
Okay, so I'll give you an example and you
Yeah.
could post the example.
Okay. Fair enough.
How's that?
That's cool.
Why not?
And but you have to have either PayPal or Venmo.
Either way, mail you a business check, whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I like it.
Sponsored by Mass Traction and Straight Line Performance and Automotive and Performance.
Amen to that.
I
Win
like that.
two shot at $250 in a double prize pack just for making a guess.
And I get a brand new printer then.
And then what I'll do is I'll sit at the gate and figure out if anyone's getting ready to get it right on the money. I'll buy a tech card.
Suckers.
I'll set my wife up. Buy a tech card. Say you're racing your car. I don't care.
Yeah, have Bree and Brennan out there.
I'll spend 250 on a tech card to save 250. It'd be perfect.
That's something you would do. That's something I would
But
do.
yeah, that's something
How much
stupid.
is it
Yeah.
gonna cost me? $300. Oh, screw it. I'll just spend
Yeah,
250
right.
bucks. What's another $50 at that point?
Good stuff.
Oh shit. All right. Yeah, so send that to me and that all right, I'm down with that.
Why not? Let's have some fun.
Yeah, cool.
It's all good for the people that pay attention to us. We'll give them a little something back.
See how many people send me a question mark. What do you
Yeah.
mean? That's why I put in the rules. If it's a tie,
It's time stamped.
yep, timestamp. And just like, well, where do you get it never fails. Every time we do this game during the season,
Yeah.
this is year 3, I think. I can at least get one person every divisional that argues with me about the car count. And that's why I get it officially from NHRA. So I can say
This is
right
what
from the division,
I'm giving you. Yeah.
yep. So that's the end of argument.
I guessed for the Lebanon Valley race 402. And
Yeah.
I typed in 402 and then I went through the numbers and I saw Bob Gaetano had 402 before me. So I went and edited mine to 403 because no one had that yet. I didn't want to share it with them.
Boy. It's all part of the fun. And you know the greatest part is I know you gotta get
Good. I'm good.
on, but how this ridiculous game got started
Yep.
on a total goof.
Right.
Oh well,
Hey.
I'll throw a t-shirt in. Then the next thing you know, we had a whole bunch of crap from Jags.
Yep.
And the last one race, people loved it. So we kept here we are like 3 years later.
Hey. Everyone thought Bitcoin was stupid when it first came out, right?
Yep. Now we just we need our own Bitcoin. That's
Yeah,
what we
you
need.
got that right. Ain't
Yeah.
that the truth?
Yep. But listen, I want to say thank you to Taylor Nobile, your winner in Super Street at Lebanon Valley Dragway this past weekend. Congratulations. The Vincent curse has been broken. That's not from me, that's from Alan Reinhart.
That's right. No hate mail.
Yeah, no hate mail. Even if you did send me a hate mail, I still don't care.
Yeah, right.
And Jason Lawrence, our guest tonight, that beautiful duster that they're
Can't wait to
just,
see that car come out and compete in the class that I'm not in.
I didn't realize it dropped that much weight. I mean, I
Yeah.
figured it would drop some, 100, 200 pounds.
I mean, now I've gotten to the point where I've got a bunch of ridiculousness in my car that I don't really need. But before I put carpet in and door panels and all that craziness, I had over 350 pounds of ballast in my car. And my
Really?
car is not chromoly, and it's still got the double roof and the steel hatch door with all the mechanism that holds it up and everything. So, yeah, I
Right.
could definitely see him going from what he had to a chromoly chassis and all that stuff. And that doesn't surprise me one bit that it came in that light.
Wow. Now, just my own curiosity, because I honestly can't remember.
Mhm.
Vega, was that a full a full frame
No,
car, or
that
was that a
that
subframe?
car wasn't even considered subframe. That was literally like folded over spot welded metal was
A little bit,
basically all it
little
was.
weld here, little weld there,
Yeah, it
and
was nothing. Like I said, they didn't even consider that car a unibody. Like the Novas and the Camaros had that whole front subframe.
right,
Vegas
right.
didn't even have that.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. The
That's it,
more
my
you
friend.
know, the more you know.
That's it.
We're here to educate you.
Yeah, or educate ourselves, one or the other.
Yeah. Did you know that? No, I didn't. Are you sure? Yeah, Google said it was
Now
true.
everyone knows how stupid we are.
Yeah. But again, thank you everybody for tuning in, checking us out live. We are going to be back next Tuesday. We have a special guest from NHRA Division One joining us. Of course, the official starter for the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series in Division One, Jared Artis, is going to be our guest.
Mr. Hot Shoes himself.
Yep, my fellow man in height.
Yep. All right, buddy. Have a good
All right,
week.
have a great night. We'll talk to you everybody soon. I'll talk to you soon, Pete.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you.
All right. Be good,
Bye.
everybody. Have a great night. If you're headed to South Georgia for the JEG Sports Nationals, drive safe. Have a good time. Best of luck.